Shanti, welcome to our Vikti Parivar. Today's day 27. To remain constantly cheerful, be easy natured and tolerant. Today's topic simplicity in mind, words, and actions. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi ji.
Om Shanti. Baba's teachings are like Baba's blessings because we would have never thought about what is easiness, simplicity. Even these words are very common and we have heard them many, many years. But what it means in practical is only when Baba explains us. So God is fortune maker. He bestows fortune, but in that fortune, to create fortune, Baba shares this knowledge, teachings from father, teachings from teacher, teachings from Sadguru Baba. And I was sitting here and I was feeling that each word which Baba speaks is like a blessing. So inculcation, becoming embodiment is one thing. But even just to hear it is great fortune. And actually, the blessings begin from there. It's only because of blessings we are able to get this knowledge. So I know that there is a song, Blessings Upon Blessings. So I'm sure you must be feeling that. Because every day, every time, every moment of the life, there are different feelings. My feelings at this time are that the teachings are like blessing. So if I am listening, churning, practicing, and becoming, that's what really the blessings are, right? So take it as blessings. Any kind of teachings, study, morning, evening, whenever. In path of bhakti, what we do, repeat or chant mantras, God's name, or any kind of mantra. But here we don't chant, but we create awareness. This is what I am, this is what Baba says I am, this is. So somebody said, but there could be ego. I said, no. You will be proud of yourself, but will not have ego. To feel proud is good, no? But to have arrogance is different. So I definitely think all of us, each one of us, in Hindi we say Gaurav. It's like grace. So it's like, yes, definitely, I am proud of it. But it's not that there is ego. Because the way Baba's teachings create respect for the self. I know I'm not free with all of you or some of you, but I knew that since I am aware of my life, I always felt connection with divinity. It's something divine, somewhere divine, and my roots are there. But then how to become that divine? So each one of us have that divinity. And that divinity is actually inspiring us to become more divine and distaste from anything which is not divine, less divine. Such a big attraction on divinity. And of course, Baba is mentioning that all idols in the path of bhakti, their faces are very, very, there is simplicity, there is serenity, and definitely contentment. Mm. So we should also imagine, create, look at my own divine form. One feels that, right? When we sit in Baba's remembrance, what you feel yourself as. Not only a soul, but a divine, a pure, a peaceful soul. I mean, all this what we are doing or we are receiving, you could never think of before receiving this knowledge. So it's God's knowledge, God's blessing, and we as God's children attain all that and become the embodiment. So, such interesting confluence age. Every moment is so rich, feelings are so high, elevated. And then Baba's blessing become great donors. So why Baba is saying? Because Baba is great donor and what he gives us is lot, abundance, right? So he says, then donate, no? Baba is bestower. And without his bestowing, from where we will bring, right? So he gives us, he bestows upon us. And as much he bestows, then we also further donate, give, or bestow. So it's like something which is true. And we can do it, and we must do it, is to bestow. Right? So our homework is simplicity in mind, simplicity in your words, and simplicity in your actions. Very simple words, but really very deep. Needs a lot of contemplation and churning. What are simple thoughts? So Baba says that if you experience difficulties in this easy yogi life, yeah, listen carefully. If you experience difficulty in this easy yogi life, then Baba says, how would you then rule easily? How will you in golden age rule easily? The sanskars from here, you will take it there. So look at, Baba says, the pictures of the deities. They definitely show easiness. Easiness also is like all achieved, right? All done, all done, all achieved. Many beautiful feelings of easiness. So Baba said they definitely show easiness and simplicity in their faces. So no tension, no stress, nothing, right? To the extent Baba said that someone is an easy effort maker. To an extent, someone is easy effort maker. He will, Baba says, accordingly be simple in his mind, simple with his words, and simple in his actions. So Baba says, such souls are called angels. So another gift today, easy yogis, easy nature, and angelic life, angel. So we won't say we have to become. Baba says that's what you are. So it's very beautiful. Take Baba's teachings, set Baba's blessings, and fill your apron with all the blessings all the time. Brahma Kumaris worldwide express their sympathy and good wishes towards all those who are victims of the natural calamities, many different parts of the world, many countries. And there had been loss of life, loss of resources, and of course, it creates a lot of fear, anxiety. But just trust in God and be confident with that trust and move along in your life. Our best wishes for all of them, all of you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Didi, Om Shanti Avyakti Parivar. I'm coming after a long time, so hopefully you remember me. This is Kala from Peace Village, based in Peace Village. And we are having a lovely time here for the last several days, weeks, I should say. And you may recognize us in the classroom, not in the Inspiration Hall, because the Inspiration Hall is being used for Call of the Time retreat. So thank you, Didi, for making things easy. I was remembering Dadi Janki when we used to sit with her for question answer. And the person who would ask the question, Dadi, how do we do this? How do we do this? She would say, is that a question? She wouldn't see she would just see the simplicity of how it's done. And she would totally cancel the question. And I'm beginning to understand more and more what that meant for her in terms of how. And I've heard quite a few people also after hearing you, after Avyakti Parivar, when Didi speaks, you don't need to ask questions. You just do it. It's just a matter of doing it. Whether it's determination that you gather, whether it is, commitment, but it just takes that quality to actually do what Baba is telling us to do. So I was reminding that when you speak, it's really like a blessing too. after, of course, when Baba speaks, it is a blessing. But how you say it also becomes a blessing for us. And today is one of those days. It was not easy. So, and I say that because I think
one is question about I don't understand, confusion. One is for better understanding, more clarity. It's not doubt, you know.
Right, right. So I know there are times when things happen one thing at a time, slowly, and you have the time to process it, digest it, set your mind, and come up with a solution, and it passes very easily. But there are other times, I think, when one comes, you've not even resolved that one, then something else comes, then something else comes, then something else comes. And I was thinking, is that a signal of some kind when things like that happen, when you have to really kind of reassess your self deeply, reset at some kind of, inner level, deeper level, and see what you're really, supposed to be doing that you're not doing.
One comes, other comes, so one is gone. Second comes, that is gone. That is there.
It's gone because it's gone, not because I feel, I've taken care of it, but it's gone.
There are many things we just give to Baba, and just keep it simple in your mind. I always say, I can manage only this much, and the rest Baba does, nature, cooperation, it gets done, For anything in my life, I always say, I don't say I can do everything, and I can do this much. Even now, there is so much demand, and I said, whole day there is this message, this retreat, this video, it keeps going on all the time. But I just take one at a time, and I said, okay, let's do this. And then, so as I did mention yesterday, don't carry things in your head. Sometimes we do carry in the sense of, as you said, one has another. And I find that there is somewhere it just gets done,
Mm-hmm.
So if, as I said, you have, I think you have also a lot of experience here. Some things look very big, but then as the time goes by and passes, it gets done very easily,
Mm-hmm. But I remember, I particularly bring this up because I know you oftentimes talk about omens, right? Sometimes there are like omens that you have to recognize and cross over those omens. Is it some kind of a signal that you have to pick up, and say, I will do extra effort in this particular way or that particular way, and then you're able to come across that.
I've been saying to everyone, make efforts, yoga, whatever, for your own stage, not for circumstances. Because what happens most of the time, we're doing yoga to get this, we're doing yoga for this. I say, but what about your own desires? So just make yourself very clear, very much in remembrance of Baba.
Mm-hmm.
Omens will also change, but also everything will be done. But we want things to be done, and I am not okay.
I wasn't thinking of wanting things to be done, but I was really thinking from a reflective point of view. What is it that I need to create a stage of that is missing? That kind of a thing. So some kind of extra effort.
Let's say if, there are a lot of times I just need to be peaceful. There are a lot of time I need to be just a detached observer. Whatever stage is required, one creates that stage, and
so I have to recognize that.
And do it from that stage, and it will work out. I always feel every moment there is something which gives you another opportunity, another chance, knowing that what are your strengths and what more strength is required. So it's really progress, moving forward. So I think if we look that way, then we don't find anything as a challenge. But then wherever we find we are lacking, or overdoing or something, then you have to definitely check yourself and make some changes.
Right. When you were talking of, or I think the signal is about difficult versus easy. And of course, we've never heard the word difficult with the dadis, and definitely, I'm sure, not with Baba, not with Mama. But have you ever felt it wasn't difficult for them, but it was more like, balancing two sides of their feelings, for example? They feel a lot of compassion for someone, and yet at the same time, they have to be strong for that person. Have you, like, for example, I was thinking, Brahma Baba never had tears, but he used to have tears when the children left, for example. So it was like a touchy moment, right, for him. Some things like that, where you could be strong, very strong, and yet at the same time, that soft nature doesn't totally disappear. You're still carrying that love for whatever it is.
See, when you have compassion and you take any action, right, there will be some benefit in that.
Some benefit
have compassion because that's what you have. And you have to take some action, let's say. Softness doesn't mean I allow the wrong things to keep happening, right?
Right.
I remember once we were here, actually, some leaders were there. And one of the leader was saying that I had a big company and I had to transfer that person to another country. And that person had family, all that. But the compassion was that will benefit him. Right? We are not punishing anyone. We are not, discarding anyone.
Right.
But that person needs to learn. So sometimes the change which is forced upon that person is beneficial. Right. So you're still compassionate. You will not feel I am merciless. Right. Otherwise you cannot function, right? Right. But I have mercy, but maybe mercy is in what I have to do it, say to that person.
In action, you have to show the mercy, right?
I don't think that there is lack of mercy, but mercy, I always give example that, let's say we live in this country. If you are, one lady, our subcontract there, saw the neighbor's child neglected. So she thought every evening I will go, I will take care and all that. She didn't realize her physical condition of that child. And something happened. So something happened. So parents didn't want to take responsibility. They said it's because of her. And she didn't have certificate, let's say, for babysitting. So she was in prison for 1 year. So mercy, I always say every quality with wisdom. You have to be sensible, even to be compassionate. If you are not, you are entrapped somewhere. You will find its karmic account. So right. I always feel that before even being merciful, just be clear about what you are merciful about. Right. Many times the lot of deceiving, lot of, when somebody came recently, now this sister is helping, it's a friend to give certain medicines, right? Now she turned around something and complained about her, about medicines or something. And it was very bad case for that one. So I say sometimes out of compassion, mercy, we do things which are not legal, which are not relevant, which one shouldn't do it. And I think that you won't feel bad, oh, that I was not merciful.
Right. So I was also thinking about it in terms of other virtues too. That any virtue, for example, carried too far, I think in particular instance, you always have to kind of look at what else needs to be used along with that virtue,
so
right?
even word simplicity, real, doesn't mean that I am naive, or I am,
right.
One has to be
So when Baba says all virtuous, is that what it means? That we are always able to perfectly blend the virtues at the right time, completely virtuous?
There is a city in India, they call that city Lucknow. So people are very respectful, right? So when the train comes, they say, you go, you go. And nobody gets in the train and train has gone. So I'm respecting you. You get in the train, you get. It's a real, I'm just giving, it's not for, so you respect a person, you go, you go, you go. Sometimes here also I find people say, you sit, you sit.
Sometimes it also happens
that somebody said,
sometimes it also happens that, some place we don't know whether it's been cleaned or not. So one person comes and cleans, and second person comes and third person. Everybody wants to make it clean, right? So we were not clear about who was supposed to do it.
Because also life is the experience.
Right.
Once, okay, sometimes we do make mistakes, then next time
we know
we can't do that.
Right, right.
And also one thing I feel that people have lot of, they have self-interest, right? So they try to say things to impress you. So Dadi Janki always used to say, influence and impress.
Right.
Both doesn't work. You are impressed, so you are carried away. I was in, I've gone to Russia twice. So they have excellent management. Just think of, I can describe, people have coins, they have a cow, big cow, they put coins. On birthdays, they buy milk and make kheer and lot of beautiful things they do. So I was very impressed. So I'm sitting in the class now, what to say them, they are so good. Then I realized that I can talk about something subtle. So when you are impressed, somewhere your energy also gets blocked. And influence definitely is not good.
Right, right. I had a question about both Brahma Baba and Shiv Baba. I think it was this morning. I'm not sure how it came across in the Murli that Baba was walking along and Shiv Baba came suddenly, something about suddenly. So I was just thinking that, of course, on one level, Baba was not ready for it like that. But Baba had a lot of preparation to receive Shiv Baba, didn't he? Do you think there was like suddenly, or, I mean, he didn't know it was going to come in this way, of course, but I thought there was a very long-standing relationship with God that he had been seeking. He had been doing his own work. And then, of course, when Shiv Baba came, he had to just understand him. But this word suddenly kind of caught me that, did it happen suddenly, or was there a time of preparation for Brahma Baba where, he was getting ready for that moment? I mean, we don't.
Our inner stage, you start feeling.
Yeah.
That like you are becoming more silent, you are becoming, there is no pull, no attraction, it's like, so.
And a lot of things that Baba himself used to work with the mind as a king, and those were all preparation, I thought, just to get to know himself and receive God.
We all are preparing to go home.
That's what I not only to go home, but even to, I'm saying because, there must be a stage for everyone like that, where we are preparing to receive God in some way or the other. Maybe not so blatantly as Brahma Baba did, but to be able to recognize that soul
Baba
in that.
says suddenly, but ever ready.
Ever ready.
So it's suddenly, but you are ever ready.
Especially when we have to kind of bring other souls close. I was thinking in that context. There must be many souls that must be not really openly ready, but they are kind of doing other kind of work, spiritual work on their own, that we need to also acknowledge and introduce Baba in that way, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Beautiful.
All right.